This is Dr. Vaishali and I am reading from the book Substance of Homeopathy, book written by Dr. Rajan Sankaran, chapter number 16, Classification of the Remedy according to Miasm, and part 2, in which the aconite is there. Under aconite, Kant begins the lecture on aconite with aconite is the short-acting remedy. Aconite is remedy rarely used in the chronic condition. This is not because it has no effect in chronic situation, but because of our bias against some remedies, we restrict their use. If we just open up our mind a little, we can see how many people around us need aconite as a chronic constitutional remedy. Let us study the importance component of the aconite. Excitement, excitable and nervous, fear of death, restlessness, clairvoyance, prophesying, frightened easily, sudden manifestation, sensitive, beside oneself, anger, violent, anguish, hurry, mood changeable, joy, laughter, sadness, weeping, irritability. From this component, one can get a fairly good idea of an aconite person. He is very excitable, can flare up all of a sudden and can get frightened very easily. Pain can make him beside himself. This excitement will manifest it suddenly and violently. Violent anger, violent fear and startling, etc. With great restlessness, will go up and down, pace back and forth, and show an acute panic reaction. The aconite person who is calm can suddenly flare up and start shouting, and can get frightened and start moaning and groaning, and can get so panicky that he can start throwing the arms widely about. Rubrics are gesture, wild throwing motion of the hands, shrieking with the pain, moaning, groaning, winning. Not only his health but also the health of the people around him cause him great concern. A problem with anyone and does not react in a cool manner, but always in a panicky, jerky fashion and will raise a big hue and cry, "Get walked up! Get walk up!" Pace back and forth, summon all the doctors and may even land all doctors and may even land himself in the hospital after that. So great is his excitement. And no wonder that Hahnemann wrote, whenever the aconite is chosen homeopathically, you must above all observe the moral symptom and the careful that it closely resembles them, the anguish of the mind and the body, the restlessness, the disquiet not to be alert. And H.C. Allen writes, this mental anxiety, worry, fear accompany the most trivial ailment. The great nervous excitability is the most important component of the mental state of the aconite. One could always say it is a contraindication in the calm people. We must look for the excitable person, one who can take anything easily. One who can not take anything easy. Everything excites him. Here it comes close to the remedy like Nux vomica, chamomilla, staphylococcus, coffea and the graphitis. The rubrics are beside oneself. This nervous excitability is linked with other components so as to make aconite a unique remedy different from others. Rubric is excitement nervous. Aconite should be added to the sub-rubric palpitation with. The first of this is restlessness, anxious restlessness. Pierre Smith feels it is the most important remedy for the restless anxious. He is excitable and become very restless. Nux vomica is not so restless, nor is staphylococcus or nor coffea or echinacea. The anxious restlessness is a feature which is most prominent in the aconite alone. He just can't sit, he tosses about. It is like arsenic and rust ox. Only it is more intense, more vigorous and more sudden and more acute. It is not the constant physical restlessness of the rust ox, but nor is the desire to pace back and forth as in arsenic. It is a sudden burst and tremendous excitement, fear or the anxiety with intense internal restlessness. He does not know where to go, what to do with himself. His mind is just a concern and ruled over by tremendous anxiety and fear. And then, as sudden as the whole state came, it just disappeared, leaving almost no trace of itself. It comes and goes like a storm. Here it may be compared with the argentum nitricum, which has this sudden anxiety attack. The only difference is that the argentum nitricum, the anxiety attack appear in some fixed situation. For instance, passing a certain point in close space, high places, before engagement, before journey, etc. In short, argentum nitricum has more of the phobic kind of neurosis, while an aconite anxiety neurosis with a non-specific yet intense anxiety attack. Naturally, anything that causes more excitement of the mind is bound to aggravate the situation further. Hence, in this time, aconite ever crowd and crossing the street. The proving reads fear to go where there is any excitement. We have already seen two aspects of the aconite personality, like nervous excitability and restlessness. We have also seen the suddenness of the effect, and we have hint about the anxiety and fear of aconite. Term anxiety neurosis. Let us go further. Fear, fright, anxiety dominate the sudden attack of the aconite excitability. Aconite excitability. Fear, tremendous fear, sometimes non-specific, sometimes specific, sometimes a definite fear of death. But in any case, sudden intense fear from tribal cause is characteristic. It is not the insecure feeling of calcaria and terror of stramonium, not the anxiety about the health of the arsenic and nitric acid or kaliars. No, it is the intense, sudden panic state, something is going wrong, something severe, something inexplicable, as if it is the end, it is the death. Great restlessness accompanying this state with the anguish. The physical symptoms of this state are clear. Tremendous palpitation with a great anxiety. The face becomes red and hot. Respiration is oppressed. Limbs feels weak. There is a moaning, howling, loud whining or weeping. Easily startled and very sensitive to noise. It should be added to be rubric. Heat and discoloration rate of face in the anxiety and excitement, which is mentioned in Materia America Pura. As I have already said that this state is not the permanent state of the aconite. It soon passes off and then comes the normal state, the steady state of the aconite person, which has some characteristics too, as we shall see. One thing that is marked in the aconite person is, even in his normal state, is very in a hurry. The proving symptom, he does everything in a hurry and runs about the house. He is hurried in movement, in his occupation and his walking. His speech is hasty too. Great impatience wants things at once. The excitability can work the other way too, and this person can be cheerful person and laughing, singing, dancing, become gay and inclined to sing and dance. But here again he is excitable and slightest trifle can change the mood from cheerfulness to anxiety. So we have mood changeable and variable. The proving rates alternate attack of opposite state of the humor means it is mentioned in the Phata, fitful moods. Rubrics are cheerful, alternating with burst of passion. Cheerful, alternating with moroseness. Cheerful, alternating with the madness and foolishness. Ecstasy, singing, dancing. Joy, element from excessive. Laughing, spasmodic. Mood changeable or variable. Exhilaration, weeping, alternate with the laughing. I am pointing out the cheerful side of aconite to convey the idea that aconite person is not always in a panicky state. In fact, it is the cheerfulness that could distinguish it from the argentum nitricum or the arsenic. See rubric, smiles never. It is arsenic, and also cheerful argentum nitricum is not there. In cheerfulness, argentum nitricum is not there. This makes of the aconite person a quite good company despite his excitability. Rubrics are affectionate and loquacity. The speech is hasty or jerky, excited speech, rapid change of thoughts, wandering speech, jerking suddenly from one to another subject. And rubrics are speech hasty, thoughts wandering, rapid, quick. The wandering thoughts is an important aspect of the aconite mind. The proving reads on attempting to think of one thing, another thoughts intrude. This soon supplanted by another, and so on. It is repeating. One more dimension of the excitability of the aconite person is his easy irritability. This person gets very angry suddenly, and he can shout or even become violent. This can be excited by the trifles. Rubrics are anger, violent, reproach others, irritability, contradiction, intolerance of rage, fury, shrieking, quarrelsome, violent, censorious, throw things away. The people around know that this man is very excitable. He will cool down soon, so there is no sense exciting him further. It is better to keep quiet and allow his anger to subside. They also know that he has no ill will. It is only this sudden excitability that makes him so. The last dimension of the excitability of aconite is sadness. Again, three features of the aconite personality are found in its sadness: sudden, intense, passes off soon. It is accompanied by the usual feature of aconite: anguish, restlessness, mourning, and groaning. One another very prominent feature of aconite is clairvoyance. The clairvoyance of aconite is manifested in the prophesying. So, an aconite person can get intuitive and feeling about people, future event, things, etc. So he can read faces and predict event. Also he can get internal feeling, also things which may not have any foundation in logic or fact. Rubrics are clairvoyance, prophesying, dream as if in, fancy, excitation, of, fear, death of, predict the time. The last rubric, predict the time of death, is a combination of clairvoyance and intense fear of the death. The sleep of the aconite person also shows symptom of his excitability in the form of somnambulism, talking in the sleep, and dream of aconite reflect the same excitability and anxiety. The dreams are dreams anxious, clairvoyant. The sleep can be very restless, sleepless from anxiety, with constant agitations and tossing, sleepless, restless, constant tossing, starting in a sleep, light sleep, lying on the back with the hand under the head, or asleep in the sitting posture with head inclined forward, can't lie on the sides. Some rubrics are face expression anxious, frightened, thirst burning, heat palm, discoloration red cheeks, perspiration uncovered part on, desire beer, bitter drinks acid. Some rubrics etc. Sorry, it's already completed. Now syphilinum. Syphilinum has some rubrics. Some rubrics of syphilinum are antisocial. It is mentioned in Phatak repertory. Moral feeling want of, squander, abusive, liar, dipsomania, indifference to the future. The main symptom of syphilinum is hopeless despair of recovery. It's mentioned in the Phatak Media. This indicates that the feeling of syphilinum is one of desperation. Whatever he does, he cannot regain his position. Recovery means he cannot gain lost ground. He cannot found again his lost ground. His efforts are finally of no use. This is the broad and general feeling of the syphilinum. In the different remedy of the syphilitic miasm, the feeling is more specific than the general. In the aurum metallicum, this feeling is specific to his duty and responsibility. He feels he can never fulfill it. It is too much for him. In Mercurius, the feeling is specific to the being dominated. Here he feels he must desperately revolt. In Fluoric acid, the feeling is that he cannot save the relationship. He has to break it. In syphilinum, the feeling is in all these other sphere that the situation is beyond his capacity to salvage. It is all too much for him. He desperately tries. This is seen in a manic attempts, for example, in fanatic and manic religiousness, in manic tendency to wash his hand or keep his bowel clean, etc. But all this is felt to be insufficient. The situation get too hopeless and the person decompensates into the antisocial, I don't care attitude, which can lead to the worst of the human behavior, including the serial killing. In the pathology of syphilinum too, one sees the absence of hope. The pathologies are concerned with the destruction, poor reaction, ulceration, infarctions, hemiplegia, and so forth. It is as if the body has decided, like the mind, to destroy itself because it sees no hope. Syphilis itself is a taint which slowly, steadily destroys. Without proper treatment, a syphilis dies a slow, difficult death. The mind and body give up and go into the state of self-destruction without caring what happened. It is not surprising that syphilis in the mother is associated with the habitual abortion. The fetus is already in the process of self-destruction, already has the feeling, I wish I had never been born. Now, under label specific situation, it is very evident from the various examples already given that the remedies belonging to the same miasm show their own special individual feature. This arises from the specific situation of that drug. Thus, although all the drugs belonging to acute miasm have the common delusion of threat from the outside, in belladonna the specific situation is like that of one who is going to taken the gallows, while in stamodium it is like that of a person lost in a jungle.